the fact that the customer journey map shows the whole journey, it provides an opportunity to say that, for the user experience, to say that, hey, look, we can affect, well, for you guys, up here at the beginning of the customer journey, and then all the way through the end of the customer journey. It's not just about the screens themselves, but the whole process can be impacted by different things the user experience teams can do. And then one of the reasons, KPI reasons that we're doing this customer journey map project and definition is that because I work in the innovation group, we are looking for innovations that are coming from business. And if we build a consistent definition of customer journey maps so that everybody's using more or less the same methodology, the same process, have data that's being fed into the customer journey map, then we can start to stitch together customer journey maps across the businesses, across different products. And we can start to say, hey, actually, these pain points here in this product and these pain points here, there's something that we can do to solve all of that. So we can go a much deeper level that can be fed back into the innovation funnel. So it's not just about quick wins. We're doing it so that we can kind of get control over the broad customer needs across our entire customer base. Okay. So let me just describe some of the ingredients to this. Again, the project has been mostly about getting a consistent definition for what a customer journey map is, right? So in the upper left, one thing that we're insisting as part of our rollout of, here's the official methodology for customer journey maps, is you have to use data. So quantitative and qualitative data. It cannot be based on, again, some anecdotes and around the water cooler and then drawing on a whiteboard. It has to be based on real data, both quantitative and qualitative. The second aspect, toolkit and templates. We're actually delivering physical objects so that it really feels like they're joining a process. So it's not just a PowerPoint slide or a set of PowerPoint slides about here's the process. It's a set of toolkits. So you can see some prototypes that we have for the toolkit in terms of everything from Post-its to describing different steps in building stakeholder maps and things like that. Okay, so it's going to be a physical output, and when we roll this out to the marketing teams, they're going to have like a box that they can actually open up and they can use. Multidisciplinary aspect, that is one of the ingredients we absolutely insist on, is that it has to be more than just a customer experience team in the marketing teams or in all the regional businesses. It has to involve people across the different departments involved in the customer journey. This part is tricky, and I'd be happy to talk to those of you in consulting after the talk, but guidelines for partners, because my team is relatively small, we're never going to scale to conduct customer journey maps across all the different regional businesses. It's just impossible. So what we're doing is baking into our toolkit and templates and methodology, how do you interface with partners, with consultants that you might hire? So as Peru, for example, part of Telefonica's regional business, as they want to conduct some customer journey maps for their local products and initiatives, as they hire consultants, we have to give them the guidelines to be able to interact with those consultants. And I've seen too many consultants say, oh, it's a turnkey, all right? Tell us what you need. In 3 months, we'll deliver your customer journey map with some great recommendations. And marketing teams actually love this because they're working on other stuff a lot. And that's got to be something, that has to be something that's going to change in this definition, is that we need them to be involved. We need the marketing teams to be involved, and again, the multidisciplinary. So we need guidelines for working with the partners. And then, of course, the methodology of moving from descriptive to prescriptive. That's a Gantt chart there. It's showing, look, you have to start here. You have to describe what you have today, design, and then design what you want in the future. You cannot possibly just jump to the descriptive, the ideal customer journey. And implied with that is co-design and validation, just making sure that customers are involved, not just in the data gathering, but they're involved in defining the solution, right? And I really, because I worked 10 years in business intelligence, I love the idea of just validating, always validating, get real data on the results of what you're trying to implement, right? So validation is a key part. So what are we doing? What is the status of this? We're in the process of rolling this out to the different regional businesses, and the end of this month I'm going to Colombia to work with the local CE teams there, customer experience teams. So far it's been good. A lot of the different departments are very eager to work with us. I think it's going to be a challenge. I think mostly around guidelines for partners, working with partners, identifying local people who can do the work in terms of data gathering, but working with the local teams in Telefonica to make sure that it's interactive and that Telefonica owns the process and it's not just something that for example, a consultant just get hands off at the end of 3 months. Okay. So let me talk, this is kind of the second half of my presentation. What I want to talk about now is different ways I think that customer journey maps can help bridge that gap between the vocabulary and the context that sales and marketing and strategic teams work in and where user experience comes from. And I don't know how many of you have used sales funnels before or have been involved in defining them, or at least how many of you seen your marketing and sales teams using sales funnels? I mean, these are fantastic. They're a great way for sales teams to be able to monitor the spend for different marketing programs and see how people are progressing through the funnel. But if you notice with the sales funnel, it's basically a customer journey map turned on its side, right? This is almost exactly the same vocabulary. This is a great opportunity for user experience to step in the world of the vocabulary of what the sales and marketing teams are using. So the way they're used at a lot of companies is basically for every 1,000 people we make aware of the product, how many people consider it? How many people purchase after that initial consideration? How many people install? How many people use? How many people renew? It's a customer journey map, but what they're doing is they're applying numbers to it and they're applying marketing spend money to it too, right? So they've got all kinds of details, and I know some sales teams, I've seen sales teams obsessed with this all day long. They look at the ratios, like what ratio of people are going from awareness to consideration? What ratio of people are going from consideration to purchase? From a customer journey map perspective, this is a great and a perfect entry point to be able to talk to them. And even if your teams are not using those, this is something that we can promote. And I think Giles made the comment that you can add some data, numbers to the experience maps that you were talking about. Absolutely. I think I almost rather use the sales funnel to make that bridge with the marketing and sales teams more easy. So we can make recommendations from user experience perspective of things we can do to help this sales funnel. So instead of just focusing on the use side of things, Invite a Friend, for example, is a project that we were working on that added this feature in there because they had a very low marketing budget to be able to talk about the product they were developing. So inviting friend inside the product, a very simple feature that suddenly is feeding the top part of that funnel. So now, maybe it's 1,100 or you've increased 5%. And also, the people you invite are often more likely to consider, more likely to purchase. Now from user experience perspective, you're adding measurable impact. You can start talking about the measurable impact of your recommendation. Try before you buy. If during the customer journey research you're identifying that, actually a lot of customers are saying that I would like to try it, but I don't feel very comfortable spending that money up front. The whole idea of, well, actually, we've identified this, and if we initiate some kind of try before you buy option in the product, then we can certainly increase this ratio. So now again, you're having this conversation not about, hey, this is a good feature, do you like this feature? This is a great idea from real customer research that will impact the numbers that you can measure inside your funnel. Decision influencers, there's another example of for example, some of the research we've done recognizing that some of the target audiences that we were trying to reach, they're actually not the buyers after all. So from the in-depth customer journey research, we're recognizing that they're not the buyers, they're actually influenced by others inside the family or inside the company. So understanding that should have you can come up with features based on the customer journey map research that can influence, again, that ratio, and so on and so on. I mean, all of these things have great potential to make a connection with the sales and marketing teams around the actual numbers instead of just talking about features and ideal customer journeys, right? So the second thing, I don't know how many of you have used decision trees in mapping out features or investment decisions. So I used to, in a previous life, I used to use these to analyze sales processes, like how much does it cost to actually sell something? And you can map out, how many visits does the consultant need to make in order to get to a demo, in order to get to a sale. And you have costs that you can associate with them. I really always found them useful for exploring, like, are we actually gonna sell this and make a profit, or is the cost of sales gonna kill us? But they can be used, and you can see how they map really nicely into a customer journey. So if you imagine there's a scenario like purchasing a new data plan for mobile phone. Your initial branch is, I'm going to shop at the store or shop online. This is a very simplified idea. It's much more complex now with omnichannel. And then if they shop online, they could buy over the phone, or maybe they won't, right? So there's some percentage. And then as you can continue through and identify all the different decision points. And what's great about them is if you isolate one particular branch, you can compare the outcomes. So let's say I want to look at something like how many people are having activation issues. So you want to activate your new data plan. How many people are having activation issues that are calling support? And you actually have numbers for that. So you can start to put percentages on these things. So again, you start with 10,000 or 100,000 people. Now you're putting percentages on these things. And if you have an idea of the costs involved, and it doesn't have to be precise, it could be estimates. But this is what's great about these types of tools, is that it starts people thinking about the cost benefit of implementing changes in different areas. And as user experience professionals, if we can talk to this or even build it or own it, we can actually have great impact on the decision-making process for how are you going to spend, what kind of product portfolio you have, and things like that.